Alright, elvisnake
It
is
looks like
spy.
the stream went down for a bit, but I think it's coming back up.
It might have just crashed for a second. We still seem to be live.
An immediate shot.
So Slappy just wants to draw this out. Obviously. He wants to
Right.
he believes he can win, so they tie
Yeah,
that.
because that would have won him the match right there, but he's hoping to complete more contracts, I guess.
Yep. So now Slappy has 2 wins and Elvis has 1 tie. And he needs to win these last 2 maps if he wants to tie, which is the best he can do at this point.
Which now that I think about, I think in the forums Iceman said that if he's
Okay,
sure
just to Slappy Davis said he green tested that last map. Okay, so
You mean the second pan up?
So Slappy apparently green tested that map on that map. So I believe they just took the win away. So
yeah, potentially that shot then was also just forfeiting it because of that.
Yeah.
So Slappy has 2 maps, 1 and Elvis is 1 in that case. Yeah, this to remember not to green test might be quite difficult. And I can see why.
So Slappy loses that map, so now it's 2-1 in favor of Slappy, with Elvis as spy.
And more particularly as Alice.
Yeah. Goes for the banana bread right off the bat. Seems a little bit questionable. There are only 3 people in Convo with a real DA. Of course, he couldn't have known where the fake DA was, but especially given that he had the white test that and that Slappy knew he had the white test that, I think Elvis is top suspect right now.
The white testing makes everything harder because, I mean, just gives, like, there's no more suspicion about green purloins, green swaps. And then microfilm's easier to watch because you'll be able to see head turns. You don't really have to focus on looking at pockets, you just have to make sure there's no head turn. Just everything becomes easier.
Yeah, it's very much. And in this case, the real advantage was, even with the contact double agent, knowing that they have to talk during that is pretty huge.
Also, you can't do difficult fingerprints either, because those also are action tests that require green. So you'll have to do straight fingerprints as well, which makes you more suspicious. Amateurs is a strong card.
Yeah, definitely. Goes for the white purloin here, but Slappy is completely on top of it, I think. At this point, Elvis is just dancing, and the shot comes off.
And he's got 2 missions done.
So this is going to be another difficult map for Elvis to win, but I kind of expect some more shenanigans from Slappy. Probably he will try to complete 3 missions early on and then just go for
contracts
the
again?
time ads. Yeah, contracts. Time ads. Maybe even faking being the Amba again. We'll see.
Slappy Davis as Boots.
A little bit weird pathing, but that's nothing really suspicious. That often happens in the time of chaos at the beginning of the game.
Yeah, so now just sitting in an empty CC, gets joined by wheels, playing the beginning slow.
And I mean, no one was talking in that, but I don't believe Elvis was paying attention. I think he was probably more focused on making sure no one was rushing hardtails.
That's true. Which is the more logical option at this point, I believe.
Goes for the fake banana bread, so it seems like he's probably trying to get Elvis to just shoot someone else, which is certainly a good strategy when Elvis has to shoot. Oh,
And
yeah,
that
and there the
happens.
shot comes off.
There you go.
I guess Elvis was afraid that Green Dress was going to Purloin and shot her before that might happen.
Because yeah, he can't tie either, because otherwise he would just lose since Slappy already had 2 wins. Wait,
Yeah,
actually, he could have tied
So
that
that's it
map.
for
He
the
could have
night.
tied. Yeah, that's it though. Slappy does win 3-1. So I
Yeah,
don't know
so
if they'll
we'll play
continue
the
to play,
Slappy.
but I mean, Slappy had some excellent shots, like really great sniper play by him. He just, I mean, found him out like before he had 2 missions, 3 missions was the max I think he ever got done. Just outplayed. And then Elvis was forced every time on the back foot just to make poor shots based on like how he performed in the spy as a spy. So well played to Slappy.
Well played indeed.
All right, and is that it for wildcards for now?
Well, I remember Kaylee and Falcon rescheduled their match, but they rescheduled, just said, after Slappy Davis and elvisnake to make it a long cast. With no specific time mentioned.
Well, they are both in the
I'm
lead
trying to
now, so
clarify right now.
potentially.
And
And it seems they're gonna be playing.
okay. So thankfully no more technical issues with the cast besides that beginning part. Slappy Davis is a great player. I think he might be platinum in at the SCL. Definitely one of the top tier players.
Yeah, he's certainly up there.
And yeah, now we're up with a falconhit and krazycaley. Definitely more of a one-sided match here. Kaylee the absolute favorite, but you don't know with these wild cards. It could lean either way.
And to continue, yes, Slappy Davis is now in Platinum Division, one of 2 safe people not to be demoted.
He's definitely a great player. With this next match, we'll see if Falcon or Kaylee will play any wild cards on each other. And Kaylee does provide information about his contracts. I'll just wait for Falcon to get out of chat. Make sure he's not listening
And
before I reveal contracts.
Falcon whispers his contracts, though.
Okay.
Am I safe to say that? To tell them?
Just wait till the match starts and then we can reveal contracts. That's fine. Because I know Falcon was in chat, so I don't want to completely reveal it just yet.
Fair enough. Yeah, Falcon uses quite a few wild cards.
So Falconhit is used amateur, so no green tests for Kaylee. drunk sniper, which means his mouse will be
camera
inverted, but that will only be for one match.
Loose lips, meaning Kaylee has to reveal. Kaylee, when sniping, has to reveal both suspected double agents. And sticky light, which means Kaylee can only highlight or low light once, and he cannot change light afterwards. And Falcon uses drunk sniper for the gallery.
And sticky light is for this if Kaylee is a sniper, meaning that he will only be able to highlight or lowlight someone once, cannot change it after that. So if he's highlights someone and then a BB comes off, he cannot change it after that. And yeah, loose lips reveals the SDA. So this could also be a play for the spy. By revealing who the SDAs are, they can probably do better fakes with banana breads, or possibly just get more suspects involved.
Yeah, it's interesting. I was hoping that I could use loose lips to help me frame with more accuracy and not have to worry about accidentally trying to frame an SDA. But framing didn't really come into play much. I think the main advantage of it is just knowing when the other suspected double agent is in conversation or not.
Or if he's with you, that's also important, because you could think maybe you're fake banana breading, but there's an SDA in your convo. So
yeah, definitely.
And that also is a kind of an issue. So Kaylee describes it perfectly. He can never green test, he always has to ID the fake DAs, and he can never bring off anyone of low light or highlight ever. And then on gallery he has to invert snipe. Life's gonna be tough for Kaylee. But I mean, he's got pretty hefty odds for him, so we'll see how he does.
Yeah, this will be interesting.
And Kaylee did not use any wildcard himself. I wonder if he does have a few. Faulty scope, same loose lips, and a security patch. Well, security patch is not that useful in this week's format, I believe.
It could be kind of useful if you want to cut down like certain missions that are very strong. Like if you wanted to cut seduce, for example, and then force them to do more hardtails because of white tests. If you can force the spy to do more white tests instead of seducing, that could bring up faster shots. That is a potential strategy, but it doesn't seem as strong this week. I will agree.
I think it's possible that Kaylee is hoping that he can beat Falcon even with all his disadvantages, and he doesn't want to use a wild card just for him. It's certainly going to be interesting to see how a far more experienced player like Kaylee does, but then with all these disadvantages, these one-sided disadvantages, unlike the match with Slappy and Elvis, and how skill comes to whether skill or the wild cards wins out, basically.
Yeah, Slappy, just feel free to hop on. We're on the regular TeamSpeak if you have it. I assume you do. You can also talk about your previous game, or if you just want to talk about the next game coming up, feel free. And it looks like they're setting it up.
User joined your channel.
Kaylee chooses first if he snipes or spies.
Okay, and if you want to discuss contracts, now would be the time, because I assume they're out of Twitch.
Right. So Falcon has single-minded and fake Amba,
Okay,
which
so
will send him with the briefcase for a conversation animation, for a talking animation cycle.
and Kaylee did buy the fake Amba, which is also the talking while holding a briefcase for a full cycle, which
I
is
think
definitely
this
hard to
is
do,
the
but
best week for
possible.
that. Because you can actually, because you usually you have to win the game, but because of this one, if you you just find a map where you won pretty handily a sniper, and you have to do like one mission, and then you just sit and just fake amba till the shot comes.
Yep,
It's
that's what you did.
Yeah.
I actually didn't realize you did that, but you have the microfilm as the 2 points, which is nice play. And then you just once you got the done, it was just free briefcases for the win, free briefcase.
Correct.
Talks.
So I went
Right,
for at
and
least a tie. Because all you have to do is win or tie, and then it was honestly it's so much money that I just didn't even care if it was a tie. I'd be willing to lose the match with all the contract money that should be coming my way.
I don't know how many talk cycles you completed, but
5 to 6 depends on whether or not you count the shot as the shot came off for the final talk animation completed, but the game sync happened after. So I'll let Iceman rule on that.
yeah, I
Right,
have no idea about
and
that, but
Kaylee here is as snaps, going to statues, grabbing a seduce as well.
Did Kaylee have a clear infatuation plate on him?
I don't think so.
Okay.
No.
I think that was one of the few wild cards that he didn't have played on him.
Interesting. Also, Kaylee is doing something. Okay, so one of the things I'm thinking about with the amateur that's a little bit underrated, because amateur is a fantastic wild card. I honestly, after that match, really wish I had bought more amateurs. I think it's a strong card.
I would have bought way more
I-
amateurs if I had enough money.
Yeah.
I did buy some for good reason too.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but one of the underrated things is if you go to center statue on one of the other maps, you cannot finish all the inspect cycles before you'd hit more than you should. Like, if somebody goes to center statue with amateur on and they try to white all 3, they'll be there too long, and you can hardcore shoot them for it. So I think it's gonna be a strong wild card even in the future maps.
Yeah, I believe it's possible to only 2 cycle if you get all 3 whites, but it's a matter of luck. So you definitely run a high risk of 3 cycling if you try to white test all 3 statues at once.
It's really tough. It's pretty close because it used to be that you had to hit 1 green. I'd have to see it if you had all 3 of the action tests come up early in the bar, maybe, but it's damn close. I don't know about the relative length of new art though. It might be possible in new art.
And he whites the guest
Kaylee
list.
white purloins here.
He looked away right as it happened too, unfortunately. But he might have seen.
Yeah, but he immediately gulps and gets out of there, so if Falcon wasn't tracking him...
Oh,
Yeah,
And
and he
with the miss shot.
he nervously takes a shot. Oh shit! Just poor decision there. Maybe. Yeah, Toby was kind of just like lurking around that area, offering to blue dress. So maybe he assumed it was her, and she also had a drink, so he had assumed that as well. But
I definitely think that was a bit of a rush play. I think that might have been pressure because if you have amateur on, you should just wait until a confirming hard tell. If you miss the purloin, that's a bummer because that's a great one to catch someone on because for once you know it's a white purloin. But honestly, if you miss it, you don't need to take these risks because you know that they're gonna have to come back around. You know they're gonna have to swap.
Especially on missions equals points, you can afford to let them get a few more missions done. And it's far better to have to do more missions than usual as spy than to have to do all of the missions as spy in order to even tie.
Right. I don't think Falcon has probably played missions equals points because we used to play missions equals points quite a bit because of the I think back in the ladder it was one of the tiebreakers. So a lot of people that have been around for about a year and a half or so have played a little bit of missions equals points, and it's a pretty popular variant about that time. I don't know if Falcon has played this before, which could definitely play into the nervous shot.
and I feel like he's gonna get away with this green purloin here. There's about 4 rechecks in a row, so
Yeah, this is a ridiculous reject chain.
But
Kaylee
yeah.
knows at least that it's a green.
Was he
I-
counting? I don't think
I-
he saw blue. That
I'm
was
pretty
really
sure
hard
he's
to
just
see.
not. I'm pretty sure he's reacting well, where he's not assuming anything from the purloin. I think he knows there's too many rejects to make a strong assumption. Wait, he did just lean in on it though and zoom in. Maybe he just noticed it was gone.
But he doesn't know when it could have been gone either. I don't think he's gonna take a poor shot just yet. Falcon kind of rushed it. We'll see how Kaylee reacts to having the purloin done. I mean, Falcon has to do 8 missions, so Kaylee doesn't have to
Yes,
risk anything.
Correct.
Kaylee might just wait everything out.
I mean, that's just a strategy. You could probably, as sniper, just sit AFK and watch the windows for time ads, because it's almost impossible to do all 8 without being blatantly obvious.
Does Kaylee have sticky lights on?
I think he does.
I'm pretty sure he does. So right now,
Yes, he does.
these are the suspects he will have the rest of the game.
Green time ad comes off. We'll see if Kaylee notices that.
I'm pretty sure he does, and he does shoot Falcon for it.
That's a really bold shot. He must have been very sure, because it's unlike Kaylee to make a shot, especially in this position where he knows the swap hasn't gone off.
Yeah, he actually didn't see Falcon at the windows. He doesn't see her go there this entire time.
I'm curious. I'm looking back to see if maybe he idled in the conversation too long. No, he just must have been really sure. He must have had more information about the time ad than it looked like. He might have been baiting it out even.
That is
It's
possible.
also possible he had a lot more information from the purloin than we thought, and he was just being careful about his lights because of sticky light.
That's true. Yeah, I mean, I guess if I was a player like Kaylee, put into known 8, I would only track purloin and swap, and then basically just look around for there and like kind of keep vague tabs on the AMBA, because he's very good at keeping track of who has been to whatever statue, and especially with sticky lights, I would just play a very safe game of narrowing down the pool off the first hardtail and then trying to get even further down off the next.
Yeah, that is a strategy, especially if you win as spy and sniper takes an incorrect shot. I mean,
Falcon chooses to spy first now.
I mean, when you played Slappy, you just took immediate correct shots, not really waiting to guarantee, but pretty much getting really solid early shots in where you just had really successful spies after that, because you could just play around with how many missions were completed.
Yeah, it kind of really showed me about if amateur strength, because for one, BB gives you a lot more information, because you know it's a talker. You just look for talkers from the BB, which is kind of a weird way to play, because usually I look for the lowlights and not for the talkers.
Well, but it's not necessary, because if you see that the sniper's laser is in a convenient position for you, you can just stop talk. And especially Kaylee loves his stop talks.
It's true, but they have to.
Have that.
The stop talk takes a few frames before they can even activate it after the banana bread, because one of the things I'm not quite sure about in the balance of Spy Party is the text that pops up while there's banana breads going off. The text pops up, and so I know when the banana bread is basically happening, and so when the red text goes down is when they can stop talk. So I know that while the red text is on the screen, they have to be talking, which is usually not very interesting information, except on balcony. But on this one, it was very strong to know. I was able to get a highlight on him on ballroom.
But then it still depends on the map, because like in veranda or pan-up.
And the shot, what did he see?
Transfer. Kaylee was just completely on top of that transfer.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Falcon was probably just hoping Kaylee would just forget about it, but nope.
It's a good bet versus Kaylee, because he's so strong at camping the other missions and pan up, although maybe that was a bit of Yomi on his part, trying to do the mission he think that Kaylee would be looking the least at.
And Falcon only gets 1 mission done.
Knowing Kaylee, I think he's going to go for a contact, and that's about it. Although, honestly, contact with white. Yeah, that's true. Oh, actually, that's a fantastic point. If I was Kaylee, I would actually get one mission done, kind of subtly, and then just go for that fake amba.
The contract
Yeah,
money
Just
is
definitely.
close that fake
a
amber.
big payout.
Yeah. Yeah, he might actually even want to avoid banana bread. Although he can't wait too long because Falcon has to take a shot pretty soon. Yeah, there it is.
And he does.
There you go.
Well, even if he
Kayle up
doesn't get any
2-0.
contracts, he wins that map pretty convincingly.
Is that 2? I believe that is 2.
That is
for
2-0, and we are on gallery now, where Kayle will play as a drunk sniper. So,
Oh, and fantastic choice by Falcon for what map to use Drunk Sniper on. By far the most effective map for that. The other one would have been one of the courtyards where you move laterally a lot, and maybe pan up, but I feel like you could kind of maneuver around pan up all right.
So what does Drunk Sniper exactly do? It changes up your vertical and horizontal moving axis, or what?
I think it's just vertical, but I could be wrong about that.
it completely inverts it. So, like, if you move your mouse to the right, it'll move to the left. So, it's, like, if you check his screen, it's not, especially if he tries to, like, point at someone, it's not going to be the most accurate.
Basically, it's all 4 directions being the opposite movement.
Yeah, pretty much.
Okay.
I'm not sure it's all 4 directions, just because the setting in the settings says invert y-axis.
So I don't know.
I'm not sure Spy Party has a functionality for inverting the horizontal axis.
He's clearly struggling, at least with the vertical, as you just kind of see that he's not the confident
Slow movement of
sniper.
the-
Yeah.
Cross.
Yeah, just bobbing up and down.
That was a weird path, but Kayle isn't paying attention to paths.
I think Drunk Sniper is a really fun card. I'm unsure about using it on missions equals points because of the nature of the map. I think it's a little bit stronger in a map. Personally, like I very much plan on using Drunk Sniper in a map that I plan to dance on because it will be very difficult to shoot a dancer with Drunk Sniper on.
I mean,
Yeah,
pretty
that's
much you're just going to
certainly
be
true.
putting your crosshair in one place and hoping the spy runs into it. That's pretty much how that
Right.
goes.
Yeah, which means it'll be hard on a map like Balcony where they have to actually go vertical to get over the head. So you choose a small character where they need to get a little bit of verticalness over it.
And
I think Kaylee's on top of this book, by the way. I hope he's not
yeah,
trying to transfer.
Falcon had a very strange bug as well. A very weird bug attempt, but don't think Kayle saw it.
Yeah, he's attempted bugs a couple of times, and it almost looked like he was going in for a 3rd attempt when he followed the Amba to the book there, but I guess he thought better of it. Just idles for a while in conversation and then leaves.
Less than 1.5 minutes left and no missions done. Just a half of seduce.
And he's going to get only progress. Wait, this is odd to me because doesn't Falconhit have the contract of single-minded anyway? And yet he's playing like he doesn't.
I mean,
Well, with
he has the contract,
contract, you
but
have to play it.
he doesn't.
Correct.
Yeah, he isn't
It's
forced
not like
to.
Wildcard.
But I mean, he doesn't get
Yeah.
money. But I mean, you still want to try to get as much money as you can, right? Like if you're gonna tie or win the map, you might as well go for it.
But
Yeah, but maybe he's so far behind he just wants to try to win this and not be out of it completely.
I guess that's true.
that's the question again. During this week, is the format that you get money for contracts in the games that you win or in the maps that you win?
Maps, because otherwise,
Okay. Yeah.
you should always lose the spy game unless you get a wrong shot. Most of the time, you'll be losing the spy game because it'll be a matter of time until you get shot. He's
Sorry,
in.
because that was something that we discussed during, I believe it was Vodar versus who it was. Well, basically the first match that happened this week.
And yeah,
Vodar and
will he
Kiel.
be able to shoot?
I think he's not going to
There's
shoot.
dancing
I think he
going on, but
knows.
he's not going to complete any more missions, so Kayle doesn't really have any pressure to shoot.
I think
And if
Falcon.
he tries to go to
I
the
think he
statue,
knows as
so-
well, but he just
Yeah.
he does. It doesn't matter. And if he
so that
went
was
up to
only 2, I think.
yeah, that was only 2. He didn't get the seduce. He was too far away. I mean, like, all Kaylee has to do there is make sure, like, when he goes up to the window to add time, he just shoots him. And that's the only way he makes sure he hits the shot.
Yeah, I would have in that situation, instead of going for the crash bug, which is only going to get you one extra mission anyway, just going for a desperate time ad. Or ideally, recognizing that you were way behind before then and going for a time ad earlier when it was more viable.
Yeah.
Kaylee is
He also had inspect swap available to him, where if he inspected, I like the idea of inspecting, swapping, and honestly, if you're intending to crash bug, you can clank that statue and run over to the ambassador who was right next to statues.
I mean, you could get a ton of missions done in about 30 seconds. Like, if you're in CC
when you have,
with...
nothing to lose.
I mean, like, 30 seconds left and you've got, like,
Did
3
Kaylee
missions
just green
done,
test
just
the
try to do
seduce?
as many as you can.
Wait,
He
that's a good
did.
point.
Did
You're
Kaylee
right,
just
yeah.
green test the seduce?
Well,
So
RIP
Kaylee immediately loses
forfeits this map.
Yeah, I guess he doesn't realize that yet, because at this point he's going for the fake ambassador contract, which presumably he won't get any money for because he just lost.
Correct. Yeah, no, because he straight up loses the map, so he's gonna get that's gonna hit him hard because he's gonna try to get as much money as he possibly can from right here. Although honestly, he's doing it before he has the game locked up, which I find a little interesting. Like he doesn't, even if he didn't know the green test that he's gonna lose, he only has no missions done, and he has to get at least 2 done to tie and get the contract.
Yeah, but I guess he's just trying to be bold, because he knows that even if he loses this match, which he already has lost.
Yeah,
Yeah,
they probably discussed that in chat. Probably discussed that. He's like, I green tested.
No,
I
I
missed.
just whispered to Kaylee that he green tested, and he's like, "Whoops."
Oh, okay, there you go. So 2-1, Kaylee. This has happened twice now, where a person is green tested with your match, Slappy, and now with Kaylee. It's
Yeah,
see, when
it's
you
hard.
when you want a green test, it never happens. But when you're told not to, it's just impossible to avoid.
It wasn't that hard for tells like Purloin because you had a lot of time to think about it. It was really hard for me not to do it with Seduce and Double Agent because it is just, you don't even think about it with Double Agent and Seduce, where sometimes you think about it with Swap and Purloin. You always want green test for Swap and DA.
Yeah,
and
it's
contact.
kind of like it's a natural way of trying to get
Which is
those.
something I like about the wild card. I like that there's an inherent bias against veteran players who have just built instincts, where it's just something we've done for years. There's just no reason never to not try. So someone like krazycaley, I think it's gonna be really hard for him not to do that.
Well, the safest option would be just, not to press the
anything.
test command at all. But then if you get a white quite early, you can finish a bit earlier as well. So who knows? Depends
It's
on how you trust your ability to press on Y.
Yeah, I think it was pretty easy when I would recognize it. I don't think I actually I don't think I neglected to do any tests because it feels pretty simple to hit the white area, though it is a bit of a risk. I definitely was aiming for the green when I hit my green.
Yeah, and it's something
He's been
that
spending
was
way too long at the windows. This is a hard tell.
He did shift, so it kind of gives it away, but it did look
AIs
suspicious.
do shift as well, I think.
Yeah,
At least
that's why I
from
was saying
what
it was. That's why I said it's not complete hardtail, but definitely.
Oh,
I would have put more suspicion for that, but
That was some wild bouncing with Cowboy and Pencil Stash there.
he does get all 3 statues inspected. I think he had 2 greens there, so he
one
does get
mission
it.
down.
Yeah.
So far, it's looking better than his earlier games, because he was having trouble getting anything done really in that gallery game. But now at least he's got quite a bit of progress, and hopefully we'll be able to finish this flirt, maybe get a double agent, and then start going for hardtails.
Yeah,
Goes
I think.
for the banana bread wall alone in the conversation, which is quite a risk, but the suspected double agent was in another conversation.
I do like the choice to keep talking, though, at least. Although,
Yeah.
okay, there we go. He left in time. Phew.
Did break animation, but I don't think Kaylee's paying attention. And he's got a minute left, so...
Goes for the bug. Misses.
Which does not
misses the
pay.
And
pad.
he's... Yeah, now he's at a... Yeah. He's at a really weird spot, but I don't know if Kaylee saw that. I feel like the pillar of the ballroom kind of blocked his view for a little bit there.
Also, Wheels is the best person to miss a pad with if you are still facing the right direction, because it's hard to tell if he's still in the pad like he should be.
That's true, he's got that really big surface area.
Going there for a double green seduce.
But
Oh.
the
Double.
ST doesn't like him. But he comes back. He
Interesting.
forgives him.
But I don't think it's close enough for a green, and Wheels gets shot.
And he's
for,
shot.
For a whole green of 51, I mean.
Mhm.
And that's 2 missions. And Kaylee, as long as he doesn't green, should probably safely secure this this map. And the win.
And therefore the whole game, yes.
Now, if I'm Kaylee, I'm also doing a little bit because Kaylee hasn't completed Fake Ambassador as far as I can tell yet. Where he needs to play a mental game of he might want the match to continue past this because this is not a favorable map to try to do the Fake Ambassador on, unless you have like a nice big conversation that naturally comes up.
But
So I wouldn't be surprised
is
if he
high
goes
rise any
for-
better?
That's true. High-Rise at least has the
High-Rise is more
stacked
difficult for the
conversations.
briefcase.
That's
The
true,
briefcase,
but-
I think.
I don't know. I would prefer to try it on this map, but I would do it on gallery. I feel like he had his best chance on that map, or Panop.
Panop's fantastic for it, which is why I chosen grounds 2 of them in.
Also,
'cause I wanted the behind the pillar
you
thing.
went there like through the whole map. Did you go for a double agent to possibly BB at that point as well, or?
And he's
yeah.
going. That's 1 talk.
Okay. Ooh, this is I wonder if he chose this character on purpose. It's a pretty subtle briefcase hold.
Yeah, I mean, the one problem would be it kind of sticks out to the front, so it'd be harder to hide the briefcase in another character.
Mhm.
The briefcase is definitely visible, but Falcon just doesn't seem to be paying attention to it.
Oftentimes,
Certainly.
at least for me, I found that new players don't pay attention to where the briefcase is, like where it's dropped and who's picking it up next. If
Yeah.
someone's picked it up, where they're going with it, they don't really, unless they're like purposely following them. Like this guy picked up the briefcase and is doing something with it next. I really
And I
don't see
mean-
new players keeping track of it, at least, and I don't think falconhit is here either.
But I think it's
Yeah.
a bit risky for Kaylee to go for the briefcase contract with no missions done yet.
Yeah, but what
Because
he's
it's
doing
only
is
in the
flirt
match
and
you win.
seduce. Oh, wait, he
Seduce-
didn't take the drink. Huh.
Seduce plus
He didn't want
talk.
to interrupt his talk cycle.
Mm.
Yeah, but another thing is
There's
that
3.
Falcon doesn't lose anything if Kaylee completes contracts, so I can
Right.
see him being a lot more interested in just trying to catch hardtails than worrying about whether he's finishing contracts. The one thing would be, of course, if he did catch him talking like
No,
this
but
with
I
the
mean,
briefcase, the game would
that's
just
the
be
point.
over.
That's what I meant. Kaylee risks because if Falcon notices the briefcase in a CC, Kaylee just gonna get shot. So that's what I'm not fully grasping in this case, I guess.
I mean,
Well, here he's got 2, so he's guaranteed his contract money at least, I believe.
and I think he's done
Oh, yes,
5.
you get them 10.
I think this is like $7,500. This is
Mhm.
crazy.
It's a lot.
Yeah, and it seems like at this point he probably wants to tie this game rather than win it, because
Mhm.
if he wins the game, then the match ends and he has no chance to do more contracts on the last map. But if he ties this game, then it'll keep going for a while longer, and he'll still get his contract money for this map. So I kind of
Alright.
expect him to just sit here and keep talking.
That's right, and we talk about these manipulative strategies for contract money. Oh, a
Took the
misshot
shot.
happens,
All right, so
And-
let's count how many times he
and
actually got
Kaylee
that
wins
out.
everything.
Alright, let's count the talks. So, when did he start with the briefcase? He did it for about 2 minutes.
2:48. Yeah, so I will just count all the interrupted speakers and talks up. So he's got at least 1,
1,
2,
3,
yeah,
4.
3. There's a flirt, and I think that counts.
That does count. He continued with it too. So
Talking cycle.
I think 4. I think he got 4.
4. I think there's more. I think there's 5. There's 7 or 8, honestly.
There's a lot. This exploit is too strong. I mean, he was in a good angle too. He had a lot of people blocking him, and the briefcases hung over to the side, and just Falcon wasn't paying attention to that. It's crazy. 7 to 8.
So just from one contract.
And now, like, Kaylee will take the lead, like 10K. It's broken.
Broken, so.
Well,
Yeah, it's gonna be either 250, or yeah, man. That's so
I mean,
much.
Kaylee picked the right opponent to do it to.
Mm-hmm.
This is definitely favored towards Kaylee. Definitely the more experienced player here. And just abused it. There you go.
So
Alright.
today seems to be favored to win, both for Slappy and for Kaylee.
So, they will each receive $2,000, and bets will be given out to whoever bet on them. Congratulations to anyone who successfully bet. We have one more game tonight. And
Or we can cast mine, perhaps. Yeah.
Oh, we could, yeah, sure. We could do some replays. But in 5 hours, the game between me and KCM will start. But we will definitely end the stream for that. So spectations.
Well, we don't have to if you don't want to. I just.
No, it's fine. We're streaming, might as well do it. So Catnip versus Scallions.
Yeah.
Alright. Oh, but
I
you
think
guys can't really follow, so you're...
Oh, we can. We just we'll count down. Count down when you're about to start, and we'll press space at the same time.
Okay.
Let me grab the replays real quick.
So...
Before that, I should probably say that I did not have any contracts. Scallions told me that he did not have any either, and I used amateur on him before the game started.
So I'm ready when you guys are. I'm just at the very beginning. We won't spoil anything. Spoil the results. Okay.
Yeah, I better not spoil. I'll probably still comment from my own perspective of what I thought, possibly.
Yeah, especially if we have questions, we can ask you about what you're thinking as sniper or spy. That'll be pretty nice to have that insight. Yeah, Kaylee makes a really good point here. M equals P is really unnerving. I feel like almost everyone played not their game when they sniped. I feel like you, Slappy, were like the only person who actually played like they normally would. Just like, I snipe as I usually do. And you were saying like, I'm used to this M equals P format. And I feel like that showed in your match. You just did much better, and you kept your cool. I feel like everyone else really got shaken and really changed their game plan and how they really like shot spies. So
yeah, it's I think it's one of the best game modes, alternate game modes. I also think I'm hoping that if after there's a little bit of exposure to map people's points, I believe it's one of the best tiebreaker types that we have, because it has a very, very difficult for it to go on more than a couple rounds. And so if there's ever that kind of sniper spy parity where the sniper just keeps winning, and we just have like these immense tiebreakers where they just go on forever. I think missions equals points, the hardcore, hard stop, because I think it uses the skills that people already have pretty well. It's just a factor of getting used to it. Mm-hmm.
And I think it's a bit more interesting for the viewer, because the game itself is going to change at least to some extent.
Right. Yes, the context of the game changes a lot between maps because, for example, if you only got 2 missions done, you're playing a 2 of 7, but if you shot the wrong person, you're playing a no-nate. And it's interesting to have to be able to spy as both of those.
Yeah, that's like, it's interesting also the choice to spy first or snipe first, because either way, how the first game plays out gives both players a lot of information about how they have to do the second game.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Once you guys have the replays, by the way, let me know.
Oh yes, I am ready. I'm trying to figure out which one to start one. The start one is Veranda. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yes.
and Catnip is
It's like
fine
from-
first.
Yeah, yes, because Scallions chose to snipe first.
All right. 3, 2, 1, go. All right.
Oh, real quick question about Veranda. I'm a big Veranda lover. I think it's by far my favorite map. For the players that have just started out, how do you guys like to make these statues on Veranda, or do you even bother?
I just do like from left to right, like from left deep, like there at the bookcases, then this left corner, then right corner, and then like right deep corner of the other.
But do you like to say the numbers, or do you like to say shapes, or?
I do numbers.
Gotcha.
On this map, it's annoying to memorize. But usually I say it as like numbers, because often I get like 21, so I say like, for example, like what's this map? So I would say blackjack 32, blackjack 32, and I would just memorize it like that.
21, 13, 12.
I mean, but I usually like with these groupings, I usually like group the statues together and call them a name, like A is 3 and 2, and I just keep on track like A is this, B is this, because I don't like saying 1 2 3 2 3 2 2 1. I can't do it in my head, and then I like second guess myself if someone swapped. So I had a big problem with that at the start of this when I first got this game, because I was like, I thought I saw a phantom swap and stuff, so just